Good evening, you're watching 7Edition. I'm Muhammed Ahmad Hamdan and these are the headlines. Political party leader is mastermind behind viral sex video and thousands of ringgit was spent to produce footage. Freedom of Information Act to replace Official Secrets Act. And last but not least, at least 24 dead over suspected arson attack. Good evening. Cybersecurity Malaysia has confirmed that the sex video implicating Economic Affairs Minister Datuk Sri Azmin Ali is authentic. Inspector General of Police Datuk Sri Abdul Hamid Bado, however, said the agency could not identify the two men in the footage. He also said that police probe revealed that there is an evil alliance that is being mastered by a leader of a political party to humiliate and damage a certain individual's reputation. In RTM's Bicara Politikomi last night, the IGP said as the country's top cop, he could not simply make statements based on the findings because it would be subjected to court proceedings if the matter is brought to justice.
Dia ada sistem tindakan standard operating procedure dalam kita menjalankan siasatan. Jadi untuk membuktikan kesahihan video tersebut, siapakah pelaku-pelakunya, itu memang bukan kuasa saya. Ya. So kita hantar kepada cyber security. Ya. Misalnya video tersebut untuk mengesahkan adakah video tersebut tulen dan boleh tak pihak cyber security mengesahkan siapa di dalam itu. Dan jawapan yang kami terima sebaliknya. Mereka kata tulen tetapi mereka tidak dapat mengesahkan 100% siapa pelaku-pelaku di dalam tu.
Previously, Datuk Sri Abdul Hamid had said that police are exploring all angles in the investigation.
So ada beberapa sudut dari sudut kes ini yang pihak polis terpaksa ambil. Dari sudut perlakuan lucah, lagi satu siapakah yang berniat untuk nak apa? Sekiranya perlakuan itu tidak benar, mungkin video itu sebab satu fake video yang telah didoktor untuk dijadikan itu. Dan pihak yang menyebarkannya tadi kena diambil tindakan.
He said due to the complexity of the case, police cannot rush the investigation and needed time to conduct a thorough job. The IGP said that the video probe is a difficult case that cannot be resolved in 1, 2, or even 3 weeks. In a statement later this evening, the IGP said the video has been spread with the intention to provoke anger. He said the footage had been produced by those who had that ill intention, with the cost of thousands of ringgit. Meanwhile, Datuk Sri Abdul Hamid has denied allegations that Perak PKR chairman Farhaj Wafa Salvador Rizal Mubarak, who was arrested for alleged involvement in the sex video, was detained for 24 hours without being provided any food.
Betul ke polis direct di lokasi?
Apa tak diberi makan?
Oh, itu semua dakwaan yang tak betul.
Okey, kemudian
Lawyer Baldip Singh, who made the claim, said Farhaj Wafa related this to him when met at the Dang Wanyi police station yesterday. The PKR Supreme Council today urged the party's president to cease issuing divisive remarks on the party. It said in a statement that Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim should instead focus on uniting its members. The PKR Supreme Council made the call in a statement today after Datuk Sri Anwar said that Datuk Sri Azmin should resign in the event that the veracity of the viral sex video involving a former political aide is proven to be true. The Supreme Council said it is of the view that such statement is inappropriate and is based on speculative assertions. They reminded Datuk Seri Anwar that PKR had since in its Reformation years defended him against identical tactics, using sex videos and other means of gutter politics. The Supreme Council reiterated its stand to firmly defend Datuk Seri Azmin, the party's deputy president, and any other leader who is attacked using such unethical methods. Datuk Seri Anwar, when met by the media at the Parliament lobby today, said he accepted the Supreme Council's statement positively. The PKR president also noted that his deputy, Datuk Seri Muhammad Azmin, probably did not fully comprehend his remarks as reported by the media.
Azmin. Yeah, I did look at the mirror this morning and no, but I said I don't think it's fair to him also. I mean, in this position, probably he didn't read the full text. You guys just prompted a question and he responded. And I think, I don't think that you should exploit on this sort of remarks. I don't feel, unnecessarily upset over that. But I thought he should have read the full text and the context. And if I've been advised, for example, I should not have just responded to the media on that question, whether it is the veracity of the media. They may be right, because you give a different, you insinuate differently. And I take it in a positive light, the criticism or the remarks by some of my friends. I should have avoided.
When asked to comment on the issues faced by PKR in the wake of the sex video probe, the Prime Minister said he would think about handing over the power when he crosses that bridge. Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, who is also Pakatan Harapan chairman, said at the moment he has a lot of other things to do.
Oh, I see. That is in the future. We will come to that when we cross the bridge. Okay?
Sir, the problem in PKR, is that a liability to Pakatan Harapan?
That is for you to make an assessment. Thank you.
And you don't think it is a problem to Pakatan
I don't
Harapan?
have to think about this. I have lots of other things to think, including answering your question.
Tun Dr. Mahathir was met after chairing a special Cabinet Committee meeting on anti-corruption at the Prime Minister's office in Putrajaya today. Moving on, Attorney General Tommy Thomas today made an application for Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak to make a full and unconditional apology over the former Premier's Facebook post regarding his credit cards expenditure. He told the High Court that the accused had written a Facebook posting defending that the spending was to purchase gifts for the royalty of another country. Thomas was referring to Datuk Seri Najib's posting in relation to the 47th prosecution witness who testified 2 days ago that 2 credit cards belonging to the former Premier had been charged 3.3 million ringgit in a single day at Swiss luxury jeweller's store, the Grisogono, in Italy in 2014. However, Datuk Seri Najib's counsel, Harvinderjit Singh, requested more time to consult with lead counsel Tan Sri Muhammad Shafi Abdullah over the prosecution's application. Justice Muhammad Nazlan Muhammad Ghazali granted the defence's request, which was not objected by Thomas. Datuk Seri Najib is facing 3 counts of criminal breach of trust, 1 count of abusing his position, and 3 counts of money laundering involving SRC International Sdn Bhd funds amounting to 42 million ringgit. The government will draw up a Freedom of Information Act to replace the Official Secrets Act. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said the Special Cabinet Committee on Anti-Corruption had agreed in principle that sufficient time must be given to process the drafting sufficient time must be given to the process of drafting the law.
Jawatankuasa ini bersetuju secara prinsip bahawa tempoh masa yang mencukupi harus diberikan kepada proses gubalan undang-undang ini dengan memfokus kepada sesi libat urus dan outreach yang mencukupi dengan masyarakat.
Pakatan Harapan's 14th General Election Manifesto had pledged to introduce the Freedom of Information Act and review the OSA along with the Whistleblower Protection Act and the Witness Protection Act. The Cabinet Committee today also discussed the recommendations on the scope of the Government Procurement Act, which will be drafted by the Finance Ministry. The bill is expected to be tabled in Parliament by the middle of next year. At the same media conference, Dr. Mahathir said the Auditor General must be free to take action. For this, the government wants to provide more independence to the National Audit Department and the Auditor General. In this bid, the Premier disclosed that the government is studying amending the Audit Act 1957.
Yeah, the Auditor General is under the Prime Minister's department. Strictly speaking, it is only under the Prime Minister's department. It doesn't mean that the Prime Minister should have authority over the Auditor General. What has happened in the past is that the Prime Minister directs the Auditor General to audit this and not audit that, and that is wrong. The Auditor General must be free to take action that he or she thinks fit.
Dr. Mahathir earlier chaired a special cabinet committee on anti-corruption at the Prime Minister's office. Last August, the Prime Minister said the government was looking at placing the department under Parliament rather than the Prime Minister's department. Presently, the Yang di-Pertuan Agong appoints the Auditor General on the Prime Minister's advice. The launch of the public awareness campaign on vehicle theft is a collaboration between the Royal Malaysian Police (PDRM) and the Malaysian Vehicle Theft Reduction Council (VTRAC). The initiative aims to enhance strategic links to reduce the rate of this particular type of crime. Our trainee reporter Zamir Akmal Azamri has the details.
According to the Director of Criminal Investigation Department, Datuk Huzir Muhammad, PDRM continuously attempt to find the best solution in handling cases involving car theft. The campaign is also a braided collaboration with the Custom Department, the Road Transport Department and the Transport Ministry.
Curi kenderaan daripada tahun 2007 yang mana telah kita buat kolaborasi ini telah menunjukkan penurunan begitu ketara sekali, about 25% per year, almost 25% per year, dan dia punya nilai tuntutan insurans yang kalau kita kira is about 200 million, 200 juta ringgit.
Datuk Huzir also noted that the reforms in standard operating procedures were also upgraded to address vehicle theft cases. Meanwhile, raising awareness among the public is also another aim in this campaign.
Akan datang menerima bagi tip macam mana nak mengurangkan risiko kereta curi, dan juga kita akan bawakan kempen ini kepada 4 lokasi yang lain, di Melawati, di Putrajaya, dan mungkin di Shah Alam dan juga di PJ, untuk meneruskan, meluaskan kita punya penyedaran masyarakat tentang pencurian kereta.
Because of the collaboration between PDRM and VTRAC, the number of vehicle theft has been reduced compared to last year. Community involvement is also important in this campaign to reduce the crime. Zamir Akmal Zamri, Media Prima.
In Negeri Sembilan, 5-man claim trial at the Seremban Magistrates Court today to a charge of obstructing a police officer from discharging his duty during the Rantau State by-election on April 13th. S. Viganeswaran, S. Mangaswaran, S. Sivakumar, M. Arin and A. Yovan Louis were charged under the Penal Code, which provides for a jail term of up to 2 years or a fine of up to 10,000 ringgit or both if found guilty. At 6 p.m. on April 13th, the 5 men allegedly stopped a police patrol vehicle belonging to Sergeant Yusuf Meda, who was escorting another car that was transporting ballot papers to a vote-tallying centre at the school. The men, who were supporters of a political party, demanded to inspect the vehicle, claiming there were excess ballot papers in it. The court allowed the 5 accused bail of 2,000 ringgit each. Police arrested 6 suspected moneylenders or alongs during a raid at a condominium in Serdang, Selangor on Tuesday. The suspects have been active in the money laundering activity since last year, and a condominium in Serdang has been used as their base. Initial investigation showed they charged interest up to 15% to their customers, nearly triple the bank rates. To date, 15 police reports have been lodged against them, and mostly in Ipoh. All the suspects were remanded for 3 days to assist investigation. When we come back, air passenger uses feet to scroll through in-flight TV. Details next. We're back with foreign news. In Japan, an arson attack on Kyoto Animation's main studio on Thursday left at least 24 dead and more than 35 others injured, 10 of whom were reportedly in critical condition, while some 30 people remain unaccounted for, as there were around 70 believed to have been in the building when the fire started. The toll continues to climb hours after the fire began, with fire department officials saying bodies were being discovered as they searched the ravaged building. The suspect, identified only as a 41-year-old male, has admitted to starting the fire and was reportedly taken into custody. According to authorities, the perpetrator, who was also injured, broke into the studio at about 10:30 a.m. local time. He was believed to have poured what is suspected to be gasoline in multiple areas of the building before igniting it. No motive for the attack has been reported so far, but local public broadcasters said he had shouted "drop dead" as he set the fires. About 30 fire engines as well as ambulances attended the scene after an explosion occurred at a 3-story building. Footages from a helicopter for NHK showed smoke billowing from the top floor and fire crews still battling the blaze of the badly damaged building. Kyoto Animation is renowned for its high-quality anime productions, such as Sound Euphonium, A Silent Voice, as well as Violet Evergarden. Ukraine said on Wednesday that it has been holding the driver of the trailer carrying the missile that shot down a Malaysian Airlines flight MH17 in 2014. They added that he had been captured 2 years ago and was now serving a sentence in Ukraine. However, the country did not identify the individual or explain why this information was not announced earlier. MH17 from Amsterdam to Kuala Lumpur was shot out of the sky over eastern Ukraine during a rebellion by Russian-backed separatists, killing all 298 people on board. A Dutch-led team of investigators has blamed Russia for supplying the surface-to-air missile that shot it down. July 17th marked the 5th anniversary of the downing of Malaysia Airlines flight MH17 over Ukraine. To date, no one has been held responsible for the deaths of the 298 people on board. About a year after the tragedy in October 2015, the Dutch Safety Board concluded that the plane had been hit by a Russian-made Buk anti-aircraft missile, causing it to break apart in mid-air. Now, the Dutch court will seek to prosecute 4 individuals over the tragedy that claimed 298 lives. But is that enough to conclude investigations into the tragic downing? Miza Shafiza tells us more on what to expect.
The JIT, the Dutch-led joint investigation team, which includes officials from the Netherlands, Australia, Belgium, Malaysia and Ukraine, concluded in May of last year that the missile system belonged to the 53rd Anti-Aircraft Missile Brigade based in the Russian city of Kirsk. The team also produced evidence that proved how the missile system had reached eastern Ukraine from across the Russian border and was later deployed in areas where militant pro-Moscow rebels were in control. Now, 3 of the accused, Russian intelligence officers Igor Gergin, Oleg Pulatov and Sergei Dubinsky, were prominent commanders in eastern Ukraine at the time. The 4th accused, Leonid Kashenko, is a Ukrainian with no known military experience, but who was the leader of a pro-Russian militia group operating in the area where MH17 was shot down. Now, authorities say None of the accused are expected at the trial, and any prosecution would take a long and difficult process.
Tidak mudah karena ini menyangkut kepentingan politik negara-negara yang sedang konflik dan juga negara besar.
Ada unsur-unsur luar yang memberi sokongan, yang nak separatis dia, pihak yang nak pecahan tu, Rusia yang support. Yang lagi satu geng NATO. Jadi adalah unsur-unsur ni dan kita nampaknya tersepit di tengah.
According to the JIT, more suspects could be named by the year's end, including 4 men who are believed to have transported the BUK missile system across the Russian-Ukrainian border. Another suspect is the commander of the Russian 53rd Anti-Aircraft Missile Brigade. Now, with difficulties expected to rise to conclude the upcoming trial, available evidence has been dubbed weak. JIT says there are witnesses of the missile launch, remnants from the plane's wreckage, satellite images and radar data, photographs and video footages showing the transport of the Russian missile system to the site from which it was eventually launched. There are also recordings of intercepted phone calls between the suspects. But experts say it would be difficult to confirm the exact source of the recordings. Investigators believe there to be sufficient evidence proving that the missile system was brought into Ukraine from Russia, accusations that Moscow denies. Russia must respond by early autumn to 2 class action lawsuits filed with the ECHR on behalf of 380 relatives of victims. The Kremlin continues to deny any involvement in the tragedy. It is believed that the BUK missile system used to shoot down MH17 is likely still being held at the brigade in Kursk. Well, that's all from me, Miza Shafiza.
And now it's time for Clickbait, where we take a look at what's trending and making the rounds in the cyber world today. Believe it or not, air travel has hit a new low. Just when you thought in-flight etiquette, or the lack thereof, couldn't get any worse, a video showing a passenger using his bare foot to swipe the in-flight entertainment screen has gone viral to showcase just how ghastly some travelers can be. Take a look. The 7 seconds video shows a passenger seated at the bulkhead with his bare feet propped up on the cabin divider. He uses his right foot to swipe the touch screen to browse through the in-flight entertainment catalogue. Since being uploaded on July 15th, the video has been viewed over 9 million times as of today. Many people had strong reactions to the barefoot bandit and shared their opinions about feet in the Twitter replies. Many suggested on getting disinfectant wipes, while others simply expressed their disgust. If you think such ghastly behavior is new in flights, you're wrong, because the infamous #Toggle became viral a couple of years back. A video of a girl who placed her bare feet on the wall beside a passenger in front of her was shared widely on social media with over 300,000 views on YouTube. The expression of the passenger who recorded the video amused netizens, with many suggesting to give the feet an elbow smash. In cases like this, flights could have easily used a passenger like 5-year-old Rodney Small, who spoke his mind about feet while flying from Orlando to Houston 2 months ago. Sometimes you just need to tell it like it is.
Somebody must be behind me.
Flight attendants, please be seated for departure. And now updated as of 7 p.m, here are the top trending topics and searches on the internet today. Thanks for staying with us. Fitch Ratings expects Malaysia's economy to grow slower at 4.4% in 2019 and 4.5% in 2020, no thanks to worsening external environment. It said global trade tensions are likely to have a detrimental effect on Malaysia's economy, as with many other countries. Private consumption is likely to hold up well, and public investment should pick up again in the next few years after the successful renegotiation of some big infrastructure projects. Fitch said general government debt is expected to gradually decrease from 62.5% of GDP this year to 59.3% in 2020. The rating firm also expects another 25 basis points rate cut in 2020 on the back of continued external and domestic uncertainty. Onto the stock market, FBM KLCI lost 8 points to end the day at 1,648 points, dragged by Petronas Chemical Berhad. The benchmark index closed at its intraday low on weak sentiment and taking cue from overnight losses in the global market. And onto stocks to watch, Burma's Auto Berhad saw an improvement in its Philippine operations. This is expected to be a strong positive catalyst for the group. Sales outlook is looking great in the medium to long term thanks to new models launched this year, including those assembled locally. Next, Power Root Berhad has a healthy growth trajectory backed by 3 key factors, including improved operational efficiencies and new product launches. It has a decent dividend yield of circa 5% and a solid balance sheet, which acts as the cherry on top. Very attractive. And last but not least, Hibiscus Petroleum Berhad's plan to acquire new blocks in the North Sea is set to expand its UK portfolio and provides further supplementary income. The group is also well on track to achieve its 100 million barrels in its contingent resources by 2021.